7 p.m. That's as much time as I have with you. 2 hours straight. Not a minute lost in between. From now until 7 p.m., it'll be you and I. And we're going to be having lots of fun, I promise. As much as we're learning new stuff as well. Giving you updates generally from Nigeria and across the world. You are tuned in and listening to Citizen FM 93.7. And the show is Super Citizen at Sunset. And I am Didi, and it is the 8th day of December 2022. Today in history, we'll be coming your way just in a few minutes. International events as well, International Day celebrations. We'll be looking at those in a few, just a bit. But before all of those, let's begin with what we've been doing here on Citizen FM 93.7 like all day. Of course, we always start with Super Citizen at Sunrise with Stanley Bantu. And yes, he was very much on ground today to turn on the mic for us. Oil and gas expert was in the studio today to, have conversations on where we are, what we can do better to improve Nigeria. And I'm glad I listened to the conversation, at least part of the conversation, and he said, the expert said he was at Oloibiri, where oil was first discovered in Nigeria, and his observations between time since the last time he was there and now, not very much. Ground zero, they call it. Anyway, Jadu was the guest. Abubakar Maigadi, vice president of Epiman, was also in the studio, and they talked about tackling the lingering problems in Nigeria's oil and gas sector, upstream, midstream, and downstream. You know that for years, we have not placed ourselves in a very good position to benefit fully from our natural resources as a people, especially oil. I've seen other countries turn their fortunes around just by the discovery of oil and what they've been able to do because they have oil. Saudi Arabia always comes to mind. That's a no-brainer. And a lot of other countries that have turned their fortunes around. But then you come to Africa and you're wondering, what's happening now? What's happening? Nigeria, how far? Corruption is preventing us from acquiring the technology that is needed to be a strong player in the industry. Absolutely, what Ilyas Sogadu said today, and I cannot but agree with him on that. Corruption, that's just the bane. That is our problem as a country. Do you imagine where we could be if we harness everything that we have as a people? We're even talking oil and gas. This is the focus. Do you know other things? If we just turn the taps right now, just turn the taps and allow the fortunes that we have as a people to just run, do you know what we could be? But then again, the giant, the killable giant, but we've not been able to kill, though. That's corruption, is what is just our problem. Year in, year out. We just hope that at some point in our lives as a people, we'll be able to defeat corruption. Then we can move on. Okay, so that was until 9 a.m. And at between 9 and 9:30 a.m., we brought you Sunny Side of Sports. And that was amazing. 9:30 to 10. My God, the part I love. Fantastic music. I love music. So at 10 o'clock, Insight came your way. And at 11, it was also great music. And then at 12, Perspectives it was. Favor Ajara was in the studio, advocacy for persons with disability, and then the conversation centered around making advocacy count. Encouraging a more inclusive society was the focus. And of course, that rounded off at 1:30 to 2:30. It was from the crust of the earth, Dr. Salwa. And they talked about ownership of minerals. Is it the federal government, the states, or the local community? Whose is it exactly? All right, so that's pretty much been it. Okay, so yeah, no, that's not all we've done today. Of course, I cannot forget politics now, which happened from 3 to 4 p.m. Barrister Victor Oziegbe, an Abuja-based lawyer, and Kunle, a broadcast journalist. I had goosebumps today just seeing him again after a very long time. Yeah. They talked about the media and the 2023 elections, how biased is the media and what we can do. And the media is always biased. You see, objectivity is not completely possible, as every human being has a natural bias. every single time. But the thing is, we always try. The effort is what always matters, because we know that we as humans, when you lie down on your bed, you always know where your loyalty lies or where your bias lies. But you would need to make an effort. You would need to play fair, because if everyone would have to tilt towards how they feel or their biases, it'll be an eye for an eye. Believe me. So the media cannot force politicians or candidates to make news. It is up to the candidates to project themselves before the media can pick it up. Media is always setting the tone for the conversations, and that would not be taken out of our hands. So that was the conversation today on Politics Now. And at 4 to 5, Udeme George had his guest from Germany, Omar Katuba, who spoke with Udeme on sports generally, Germany, Ronaldo rant, and they insisted that there was no plan to leave the team in Germany. So that has pretty much led us up to this point right now, and it's 5:11 p.m. And this is us taking off Super Citizen at sunset, right in earnest. So I'll be back in a bit to give you what I have for you today. Remember, it is always about updates. So Uganda, and let me tell you this one before I take that break. Uganda has received their first batch of vaccines, though. The first batch of the Ebola trial vaccine is arrived Uganda, and the minister was right on ground to receive them. I see Harold smiles and stuff. So stay with me. I will bring you, sound bites from that event. So when was it? We're talking about how, it was yesterday, just yesterday. We're looking at the reports of how drought has killed hundreds of animals in Kenya's national park. And the drought has affected around 4 million people in Kenya, right? Guess what? People are still moving from other countries to the same Kenya in search of water and food for their families. The same Kenya that is having it really tough these days. But Somalia is not even having it any easier. If Somalia is having it worse, as tens of thousands of Somalis are crossing over into Kenya. Don't worry, I'll be bringing you more information on that in a bit. And CBN Nigeria. When this story broke, it was me. I told you that it's not possible that would hear the last of that convo in a bit. Experts are still reacting. People are still, giving their opinions. In fact, Bossman has been, invited to come and answer questions at the Senate. Sorry, House of Reps at least. So reps have summoned Emefiele, CBN governor, over this CBN cash withdrawal limits thingy. And we haven't seen that they may have ordered him to suspend the cash withdrawal policy. Maybe not just him, that's the CBN governor alone, but the entire Central Bank of Nigeria, and say, hey, you need to halt on that move. Not now, not yet. Stay with me. Information, details coming your way in a bit.
Abuja. Wake up. Reach out. Speak up. Speak out. You are the voice of a new generation. And this is your station. Talk Radio 93.7 Citizen FM.
5:14, that's what the time is. And now it's time to go right into the show. I had already started, right? Because I started with Citizen Port already. But hey, I like the drama. So hey, let's get into the gist. So, you know how we do. International events today, first of all, and then I take you through today in history. So I'm laughing already, right? Because of some of the things I pulled out this day, December 8th. Okay, so with emotions and devotion, we honor Santa Maria and Camelan, the patron saint of Guam. So it's actually Santa Maria and Camelan Day. Saint Clement of Orid Day it is as well. So behold the enlightener of the Slavs. Commemorate his day with us right here, at least on Citizen FM 93.7. So Saint Clement of Orid it is. Take it in the ear. Oh, you dirty minds, get out. Yeah, just take the words in your ear. That's what it means. Take it in the ear. But don't put anything inside of your ear. It's not good. Don't even put cotton buds in your ear because you're trying to clean your ears. It's dangerous, all right? Do not put anything inside of your ear. Yeah, that's me telling you that. But hey, it's take it in the ear day. What do they mean by take it in? They say take the word, take the things that you need to know. Just hear it. Hear it. Just hearing alone. Uzbekistan, it's a great day for them because they survived the Soviets. So they celebrate the sovereignty and the rich history of the Republic of Uzbekistan on this day. One of those countries in, parts of Asia, crossing border, up there, right? Okay, so if you're, familiar with the Odwali Day, Odwali Parva, you may relate. So it's usually a very colorful day. The people just splash on colors on their bodies and just say thank you to Mother Earth, Mother Nature on this Odwali Parva Day. So in your own way, you could just say thank you to Mother Nature for everything. Hey, Simon, where are you listening to me from? Is your name Simon? Okay, so it's your day today. We're celebrating Simons today. So here is cheers to you. Don't worry. If I don't see my name until the end of this year, hey, nobody should try me. My name better pop up. Okay, savings account day it is as well. Blue collar job. So we need to recognize heroes of blue collar works, and we need to show them they are not forgotten. It's not always about the white collar jobs. See these blue collar people, right? If they're ever down tools and say they're not doing it again, you don't even want to imagine how much we'll suffer as a people. So hey, everybody who's working a blue collar job, we say cheers to you. To the artisans, to the laborers, to the masons, to the painters, to every single person who's doing one blue collar job or the other. We love you a lot. A lot. Immaculate Conception Day, right? So this Christmas season, right? You're going to be hearing a lot of these, names sent this day, sent that day, Catholic faith thing. It's going to be happening a lot. Anyway, maybe the last one I'll be taking today. Pretend to be a time traveler day. So on this day it's about imagination, time hobbling. Go wherever you want to go to. You can lie in your bed and just imagine that you've traveled back in time or into the future, or whatever it is. Or you could just binge on Terminator or any movies that focuses on time travels. What's that one again? My God, what's that one now? Ryan Gosling. I think I saw it recently. Ryan Reynolds. I'm trying to remember. Came back from the future into the present to meet his 10-year-old self. Can't remember the title exactly now, but I watched it the other day, and I liked it. It's like the bish part of it. I hardly watch this kind of movies, but again, I did watch it. So it is Pretend to be a Time Traveler Day. December 8th, the 342nd day in the Gregorian calendar. Great day it is. I just hope that your day has been coming really good for you. It's Nicki Minaj's birthday, by the way. Yeah, Nicki Minaj. For people who like her songs and vibe to her. See, some people don't even try to say anything negative about Nicki Minaj around them because they are all about her. So here is cheers to everyone who's celebrating birthdays today, December 8th. We love you. Okay, so that'll be about it today on International Days. Let's go now to Today in History. Winnie Mandela. I had to start with that one, man. So in 1993, on this day, December 8, Winnie Mandela, she was elected president of the African National Congress Women's League, ANCWL. ANC is the party, that's African National Congress, is the one that Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, is on the platform on. And we've been following that story about the farm gate, money discovered in his farm, dollars, about $4 million or thereabout, and the moves that he made to try to, quiet some people, but then he's still cast. People still heard about it. And he's likely to face impeachment proceedings. But then again, the party has said, they're going to be standing or rooting for him. That's ANC. But the Women's League part is the one that Winnie Mandela won elections of, becoming the president of in 1993 on this day. So, another remarkable event on this day, where this, global warming thingy took a different dimension altogether, took the world by storm. People got really scared because we had to do a special kind of meeting on this day in history. So this is what happened. In 2009, the United Nations called reporters, delegates, and world leaders. They assembled them at the Copenhagen Climate Change Conference. And they told them that the decade between 2010 and 2020 was on track to becoming the warmest ever since records began in 1850. When conversations about climate change became louder, people started doing protests, people started doing seminars, people started doing awareness campaigns, and all of those. Right. Anyway, the then Secretary General of the World Meteorological Organization, that's WMO, Michel Jarraud, stated that the decade was very likely to be the warmest ever on record, warmer than the 90s, than the 80s, than previous years ever, as I mentioned, since 1850. So officials of the WMO at the Copenhagen conference explained that the effect of continued global warming to more than 110 world leaders would be something that nobody should leave attention off of. So as the UN negotiated a collaborative global effort to reduce carbon emissions and slow the effects of climate change, the result of the conference was an informal agreement expressing clear political intent to respond to climate change in both the short and long term. And I can say for real that although we are not where we want to be when it comes to, conversations about climate change and stuff, but I think that we've really fought a good fight. But then again, look at the effects. We're hearing things that we've never heard before. Situations that climate change is exposing us to at this time as a people. And all we can do is continue to pray for better days ahead, because man, oh man, this thing is not smiling at all. If we think that we're doing good, I think we need to do better. I think we just need to be louder when it comes to issues about climate change, because like it or not, be interested in it or not, show concern or not, it's going to affect you directly for that matter. It was only natural I was going to do that. I was just going to give a cheer for that, because the way it rounded off and this, it was only natural. Anyway, let's look at some major events across the globe on this day. So, my God. U.S. entered World War II on this day, 1941. So it was following the unprovoked Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. We saw that yesterday. Yeah. The U.S. decided to enter into World War II as Congress declared war against Japan after that explosion at the Pearl Harbor. It was like, why? Why did that even happen? Anyway, some of the things today. Fans of the Beatles, the music group, on this day in 1980, John Lennon, one of the group members, the guitarist, one of the songwriters on the Beatles team, he was shot dead just like that. It was an event that took everybody by storm, especially people who are fans of the Beatles, like I am. I grew up to learn about the Beatles and I just loved them. Yeah, the rock group that transformed popular music in the 60s. Anyway, so he was 40 about the time, and he was entering his luxury Manhattan apartment building when a man, David Chapman, just shot at him 4 times at very close range. And he was bleeding. He was bleeding profusely. He was rushed to a hospital, but he died on the way to that hospital. Really sad one. John Lennon. He was shot on this day in 1980, December 8th. 5:24 p.m. Let's come back to Africa, and then we round it off right now. Somalia in 1992, Operation Restore Hope was, founded. The United Nations intervention in Somalia, Operation Restore Hope, sanctioned U.S. military operations, and that move started on this day. So the operation was planned to avert the growing humanitarian disaster of severe famine and general chaos. Several years later, we're having, reports that people of the area, Somalis, are crossing over 10 tens of thousands in their numbers. They're crossing over into Kenya in search of food and water for their families. No, this is fresh news now. I'm just telling you what happened in history. So this is a country that has been going through a lot since 1992. See, I mean, this particular information I just gave about today in history, that was in 1992, but as old as time is, Somalia has been going through a lot. The people of Somalia, they've been going through a lot. They're moving into a country that is even suffering drought in itself at this time in the in the life of Kenya. We're not even having such great reports from the area, but hey, they don't have anywhere else to go. My God, what a time! What a time! But stay with me, all right? Speaking of Kenya, here is a song Bonnie M jumped on. I think I did a full, well, no, a full show. I think I dedicated like 5 minutes of my show yesterday to this song, the original by the Mushrooms. But here is Bonnie M's version, Jambo, Hakuna Matata. Stay with me, Citizen FM 93.7. More on Super Citizen at Sunset coming your way in about 4 minutes.